Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris the High Guy Jacobs, and today we take a deep dive on one of my favorite games, Doomsday Last Survivors. And the topic of today's video is one that has been suggested and requested multiple times in my alliance. It's basically just to cover the basics of the game. You see, the truth of this game is that as simple as they make it sound in the tutorial, and as simple as it is on paper, there are a lot of moving parts that make for a fun Doomsday experience. So let's touch base on a couple of them today, which will hopefully allow you to enjoy your game just a little bit better. First and foremost, let's talk about how you play the game. There are a couple of avenues to choose from. You can either play like most on mobile, on your phone, which is where it's accessible, or they now have a PC version, which is connected straight through the same regions, which you can download at dls.igg.com. I'll put the link in the description below. In my opinion, playing on PC is much better. Not just a little bit better, it's way better. Controlling troops is way better. It's a much bigger screen to see things. Chatting is way better. And if we know one thing about this game, although it may look like a zombie survival game, it really is a war-based, strategy-based, social game. And the chat is a very important aspect of that. So in my comparison, I think PC is better. If you don't have a PC or you only have handheld tablets and mobile devices, that's a great option as well. Play where you can. In my opinion, playing on PC is better. That's where I play. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the layout, okay? Because the truth is, when you first load in, even after you have built your shelter, there's a lot of different buttons on the screen, a lot of different things, and you might not know what to go to, what to click on, or basically what to do. So let's take a look at some of them. Okay. Some key things to remember. On the on the top of your screen here, you're going to find a date and time. This date and time is key for most alliances, as a lot of events are based on this time clock. Right? If you look, for example, at Antipede, which happens every Monday, it's an event that happens every Monday. That is typically scheduled based on the time clock here. If you look at Pompeii, which happens every Tuesday, you're only given 4 time slots to choose from, which are all based on this time clock here. Every alliance that I've been a part of bases it on this time clock here. They don't base it on PST. They don't, Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, they don't base it on Pacific. They don't base it on Atlantic. They base it on this game clock here. So don't forget it's here. Small, white, but it's there. Okay? Next, pardon me, I want to talk about gold right up here. Okay, another basic. If you spend money on this game, which is totally fine, I do too, you're going to find that if you actually spend money with gold, it ends up being cheaper in the long run. Okay? For a couple of reasons. Number one, it equates at the American dollar, regardless of the cost of the American dollar. It translates exactly. Okay? So 499 gold is the same as $4.99 American. But number two, right? Every now and again, they have these bonuses. So right now, they have an event where if you go buy gold, you get, for your first 3 purchases, a bonus up to 20%. So if you spend $100, that's like them giving you $20 just to spend $100. They don't have that option on mobile. It's only available on PC. So it's a bonus just for if you plan on spending money, look at seeing if you can get gold. Now, I believe you can actually get gold on mobile as well. I don't know the process on how to do that. So you would have to check with somebody who does, because I don't know that process. Next, we're going to look at your event tab and your event calendar. If y'all didn't know this up here in the top right, this is your event tab. Okay. This is going to provide you with all the events that are ongoing currently, and information on all of those. So if you want to know more about the recovery of Pompeii, right, you can, there'll be that recovery of Pompeii tab when the event is going. Currently right now, for example, we've got Resource Tycoon, which is a whole bunch of discounts, right, which is a repeating event that they have. So you're going to find all this. Water War happens every 2 weeks, I believe. Russell's Salvation is a repeating event. So this is where you're going to find all of your current events that are going on right now. If you go into your event calendar, which I don't think enough people know about, this shows you what events are coming up within the next couple of days, which ones are starting soon. For example, we've got Infinite Warfare starting tomorrow. Archipelago Raid is starting on Sunday, right? So it tells you what's coming up. And I don't know how many times I've spent a bunch of gems, then checked my event calendar and realized tomorrow starts an event where you need to spend a bunch of gems. So like, you could save yourself so much headache from making sure to check your event calendar almost daily. See what's coming up every day. See what's coming up, in the next 4 days. What's coming up in the next 4 days, right? Use your event tab, use your event calendar, and even in your news tab, they'll have rewards in here every now and again there too. So use your event tab. Next, we have our chat box. I don't know if you guys know about this, but like I mentioned, this is a very social game. Think about it. You have 115 people that you're working with in an alliance to get things done. Can you imagine working with 115 people and never saying hi, or never saying what's up, or never getting to know any of the people you work with? Some people do that and they find peace in that. I can't. And in this game, a lot of it you can't. You need to be active in chat. You need to participate. It's not necessarily just about small talk, but you need to be able to strategize in chat. So you need to be comfortable using this and understanding how to use it. You've got 4 tabs here, each handing their own chat. The first one is the regional chat, where everyone gets to chat into. Your second tab is your alliance chat, where you and your alliance chat together. Your third chat is typically your own individual language chat. So for me, it's English. For some, it'll be a different language. And then the last one is a world chat, which allows you to chat with anybody all over the world. The difference with the world chat, though, is that you're only given a certain amount of times to speak in that chat. As you can see here, we've only allowed 10 messages in the day to put posts in the world chat. Now, when you go into your chat box, if you click and drag it to the right, you'll open up your private chat box. Okay? Here you can save group chats with other players, like your group of R4s, for example. Or whenever someone sends you a direct message themselves, it'll end up in this private chat box. And again, all you have to do is click and drag, and you'll be able to open up that private chat box. You'll find your friends list in here as well. You'll find your how to create group chats in here as well. You'll find pretty much everything that you need in order to stay communicated, in order to stay connected to your alliance and enjoy the social aspect of the game. Because like we've talked about, it is a war game, but it's also very much a social game too. And the game is so much more enjoyable when you know the people that you're playing with. So take the time, get to know them, chat with them, say hi, right? Make sure that you use that chat box. Next, we're going to talk about the Alliance tab, because the Alliance tab has a ton of information in it. Most of it is useless to most players, but some of the key things that you want to look out for example, your warfare. This is where all your open rallies are. If you want to join a rally that your Alliance has put on, this is where it'll, in the tab that it'll be. Your hero support tab. Every player can put one of their heroes in the hero support, or in the Alliance hero support tab, so that during this event, I believe it's Z-Virus Adventure, I can actually choose from my alliance. I can choose to borrow from my alliance and use their heroes instead. Okay? In the alliance tab. So next, you've got your territory tab, gives you a ton of information, shows you in your warehouse what resources we have. This will give you an idea what resources the alliance is needing. So for example, in this situation, we need more food and we need more steel. That's kind of what we're searching for the most, which means we want to hunt for or farm for more food and more steel in the alliance area. I'll talk more about that here in a short while. But the biggest, most important tab here is going to be your technology tab. Your technology determines all of the buffs that your alliance gets from all of the research that your alliance does. This will do everything from increasing the speed at which you farm all of your resources, like we show here. It can increase the amount of players you're allowed on your team. You've got skills down here, which allow you to actually give yourself a buff, right? These are special ones, so you can give yourself a buff for a certain period of time. For example, if you're doing for the top commander event that comes by every 2 weeks, they need some of the tasks, for example, are gathering. Well, you use this, gives you a bonus for, I believe, 8 or 10 hours on gathering speed for everybody in the alliance. So these are important skills. So the technology is really important because the only way to increase the level is to donate to it. But the only way to donate is for every single person to go into it and click the donate button. A maximum of 72 times a day. See, look at it this way. Let's do some quick math. You only earn one donation every 20 minutes, one donation chance, to a maximum in your stock of only 30, which takes 10 hours. So you log in once, you do 30 donations, log in 10 hours later, do another 30 donations, right? So in reality, in order for the alliance to stay healthy and strong, you need most players logging in a minimum of 2.5 times a day. That's it. Without touching the gems. Now, I don't suggest that our players donate gems. I'm much happier with everybody just donating their max amount of donation chances per day. If you want to donate gems, go ahead. I think it's better to save gems for other important things. Some people, on the other hand, they like to donate gems too. Totally up to you. What's not up to you is hitting this donation button as many times as you can, as many times as you are given the donation chance to do so. Okay? Now, the best tip I can give you in regards to donations is to donate in groups of 10 or more. Okay? For some reason, I'm not sure why, but every time that I've tested it, compared to just individually hitting the donation button, I end up with higher donation points and more critical attempts, right? Every time you donate, you only get 100 points, but it has the chance to crit, which times that multiplies that by up to 20 times, right? And for some reason, if you donate in higher groups, so groups of 10 or more, for some reason it crits more often, so you end up banking more points. And there's a daily and weekly alliance reward for the top 25 donators, which includes rewards like gems, resources, and speed ups. Kind of all the basic stuff you want to collect. So donations are super, 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 super important. Do not hesitate to click the donation button. Okay? And then lastly, you've got gifts. If you have an alliance, for example, that likes to spend money, you'll start to see that you get better rewards, which is customary for a pay-to-win game like this. Okay? The more money that gets spent, the better the rewards that the alliance gets. So this is why it's important to be a part of a nice, strong alliance. You don't want to just stick to your alliance because, hey, it's your friends. You want to bring your friends with you to a stronger alliance. If you're given an opportunity to join a stronger alliance, my suggestion is to almost always take it for the simple fact that you will find your growth exponentially increase based on being on an active, more experienced or stronger alliance. especially one that has players who spend a little bit. It doesn't even have to be a lot. Remember, we're talking about 115 people here. So if 115 people all spent just a little bit, it equates to a lot very, very quickly. That's why it's important to be a part of a nice, strong alliance. Next, we're going to talk about the bag. This button right here. The bag is what's going to hold all of your resources, speed ups, buffs, materials, armaments, and everything else you can think of. This is where you're also going to find things like gold coins. As you participate and complete some of the events in the game, it rewards you with gold coins. They end up going to your bag. Okay? If you're ever told to look in your bag, that's where the button is. I know it's very self-explanatory, but for some reason, people have asked me where their bag is numerous times. It's right there, obvious. Click it, go through, check out all the stuff that you have permanently or personally. Now, you'll notice on mine, for example, I have armaments. If you are not headquarter level 24 or higher, you will not have this tab yet, but everything that you collect will still be in that tab when it populates for you. Okay. Next, let's talk about resource nodes. Okay. Resource nodes, zombies, and hive minds, because this is kind of all the basics of the game, but it's very important to get correct, especially when you're part of a good alliance. Okay. First thing you'll notice is that these nodes each have different levels. The higher the level, the more resources that node will spawn with. Okay. A level 4 node on food and wood should spawn or will spawn with 720,000 resources. A level 3 only spawns with 480. Okay. However, if you cannot clear the node fully, send to a lower level. The way the game works is this. The node holds a certain amount of resources. When you clear all of the resources and take the node away, a new one will respawn. If you don't clear the node all the way, the node will not refresh or respawn. It will sit here currently at 51,000. Okay? And it will sit there until someone comes through and clears the remaining 51,000 that's there. Now, a level 4 node of steel comes with 360,000. So someone came through, took 300,000 of this one, and left 51 behind. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm trying to farm nodes to collect resources, because that's a very important part of the game, if I'm trying to farm these resource nodes and the only ones I can find are half-done nodes like this, it's going to anger most people. So do yourself a favor. Learn very quickly when you farm to farm those nodes completely. A level 6 node holds 1.2 million resources. And if you end up being the player who farms 900,000 of those 1.2 million, and your excuse is you didn't have enough troops, yes, I'm telling you, you are the bad person here, okay? Just understand that will be the understanding for most players. You are the bad person there. Those nodes are super important. And if you'll notice, there's also a difference between farming nodes that are inside the territory versus outside the territory. If you look here, for example, this node inside the territory has this little up symbol here, this little this up arrow. This node that is outside of the territory does not. If you farm this node, you receive a plus 30% gathering speed boost. If you farm this node, you don't. So this one you farm even slower. The other benefit is, if I go here to my reports, into my gathering report, you'll see this number here, right? So first you have the node in white. Then you have your bonus resources that your heroes provide in green. Then you have the bonus resources your alliance earns over on the right. If you'll notice here, there's no alliance resources because this here I farmed outside the alliance territory. So not only are you farming faster inside the territory, you're giving the Alliance a free 1% on all that you farm, which we store in our territory, in our warehouse, and we use to upgrade tech, build towers, build forts, repair, all the rest of the stuff. And, right, we use gold to stock the Alliance store. So there's a list of things why farming inside the territory is always better. Even if, let's say hypothetically, you need wood, right? You really need wood, but you don't have any, and around you, all you see is steel and food and iron, or right, steel, food, and oil. It is still better for you to farm steel, food, and oil, and then ask your Alliance to donate you wood than it is to farm outside the Alliance. Now, that's my personal opinion. Others have a different opinion. But the truth is, you want to make sure your Alliance always has resources. If you are stalling research or building because you do not have enough resources and there are people farming outside of the line, that is an unhealthy Alliance. You need to make sure that 98% of your farmers or your players are farming inside the line at all times. Super, super, super important. Okay? Next, let's look at zombies and hive minds, because these are important aspects in the game. Zombies provide a ton of bonus resources, speed ups, and the rest just from killing them, right? Right, you're getting a drop chance for frags, gems, speed ups, resources, and right now, outpost toolboxes. Why is that right now? Because right now we've got the event for Russell Salvation, which adds all of this stuff here to the bonus. Okay? So there's always bonuses for killing zombies. The only difference is the level of zombie is going to provide better rewards, right? So a level 25 zombie is going to provide better rewards than a level 19 zombie. It also costs more stamina to kill a level 25 zombie than it does to kill a level 16 zombie. Or a level 19 zombie, I believe. Let's actually take a look. I've never actually tested this. 50, and what's this one? No, it still says the same. Okay, so it's going to be the same either way. I guess I was wrong on that. See, I can be wrong too. It's totally fine. Totally fine. Now, zombies are easy to kill. You basically just send a march. Send a march that's going to be strong enough, and it'll tell you, right? When you attack, it'll tell you if you're strong enough. Create squad. Major advantage typically means you're going to win, right? However, there's a nice little trick you can do here, especially when you're wanting to kill a lot of zombies yourself, okay? First things first, you earn what are called multipliers. Now, in your bag, I believe they're called extermination tickets. Let me see if I can find them here. Yeah, right here. These guys. Extermination cards, pardon me. Okay? They're called extermination cards. But the way that you use them is when you click on the zombie, you click on this little multiplier button here, and then you can select which ones you want to use. And they have all the way up to times 10. Now, what this means is for every zombie that you kill, it's actually going to count as 5 zombies. Okay? So if I was to send a march here, just one march, and use a times 5 multiplier, that basically means that it would be the same as me killing 5 of these guys at once. But there's also another trick. Because you can go ahead and march multiple troops, right? I can march 4 troops at once, right? Now I can take all 4 of those troops, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can target one zombie, use the times 5 multiplier. Each one will use one, and that's now 20 zombies that I've killed in just one. So you can either take them and kill them individually, right? As a group. So one zombie gives me 4, right? Because I've got 4 individual marches. So it will give me credit for 4 individual zombies. right? Or you can use your ×5 multipliers and, well, 5, 10, 15, 20. You'd get 20 zombies out of the one. Okay? That's a trick or a hack, if you want to call it, when you're trying to kill a lot of zombies quickly. Take a group and do what's called zombie mobbing. We used to call it mobbing. So you take a group of people. And you can take, like 3 people can send 5 groups and do it all together and all get credit for the same zombies. All you have to do is hit the zombie once, right? So you send a group in, hit the zombie once, you get credit. All 5 of your marches get credit. Okay? So use that to your advantage, especially in Top Commander, when right now one of your things is to kill zombies. It's much more efficient that way than sending one march out individually to try to kill them, one at a time. Take a whole group, go march through a whole group. Do that for 45 minutes and you'll get a ton. Not only, but you also get experience for your zombies killed, right? If we look at those reports, we see first off the stuff that we get, right? The rewards, some speed ups, some research, and some more resources. But we also see the experience that we get. So if you're looking to experience or level up some heroes, it's not a bad way to do it if you're going to go do it a whole bunch at a time. Right? So that's kind of your key with zombies. Next, you've got to look at your hive minds. Now, hive minds are pretty self-explanatory, but I still find people missing the point. Okay? When you click on a hive mind, it tells you what your recommended rally size has to be. Okay? Now, why is that important? Well, your rally size determines how many people or how many troops you can carry with you to a target. Okay? So when you start a rally, for example, let's just look at this. I'm going to go here, start a rally. I'm going to start a rally, and I'm going to go with my main rally size. Now, let's look at here, and this will tell you a lot about the information about the rally. I can host 1.7 million troops, and currently I only have my troops in there, which are 204,000. Okay? But here's the thing. If I didn't have a rally size higher than 380,000 troops, it wouldn't make sense for me to try to rally this hive mind. So then people ask, well, where do I find my rally size? Very simple. Inside your base, inside your battle center, click info. It'll tell you your rally capacity. If your rally capacity is not high enough to take on the recommended size, right? A recommended level 4 needs an 840,000 troop rally size. If your rally size cannot handle that, do not rally the hive mind. All you're doing is killing your troops, costing more resources to repair, and costing time to repair them. And on that note, upgrade your battle center. It's like your most important like one of your most important buildings in your entire shelter. Upgrade your battle center. Okay? Next, let's take a real quick look at your radar. If you haven't done your radar yet, get your level 25 max up there so you can earn the best rewards. Every 12 hours at 0 o'clock UTC and 12 o'clock UTC, this refreshes. Look, the event refreshes in 6.5 hours. Okay? This means every 6.5 or every 12 hours, you get 12 new events. This is going to be either searching for resources, killing a zombie, killing a different kind of zombie. Like there's a list of things. Finding troops. And all it takes is a little bit of stamina. Do it every time. The faster you upgrade those, the faster you get this up, the faster you earn points and bottle caps, which gives you a ton of rewards. You earn every week 2 gold frags, 10 Maxine frags, and all of these other ones that you want to buy with your bottle caps. But you have to save them up. And the only way to increase how many bottle caps you get is by increasing your exploration level here by completing these events. So complete them every 12 hours. I like to, when you're logging in to do your Alliance donations, check on your radar. Make sure this is always complete. Okay? As complete as you can get them. There'll end up being some challenge type events, some challenge zombies that you might have a problem with, but that's okay. Get them done. Right? Just get it done. Get it as clean as you can get it. Now, that's kind of the basics in a nutshell. Like I said, the game gets so much more complex when you start to look at how it updates daily, how it continues to update, how these have recurring events. It's not just about growing. It's not just about training troops. It's not just about farming. There's a huge PvP aspect to it as well, right? There's a huge competitive aspect to it as well. So if I could leave you with any last bit of advice, because we are past 30 minutes here, I want to tell you this. When you start to play the game, ask yourself how much money you plan to spend for this hobby. It becomes a hobby, okay? If you want to play the game, you can do it free, but it's going to take a lot more time. And if you don't want to put in the time, then you're going to have to put in the money to participate. If you don't want to do both, then chances are you're not going to play the game. It's pretty simple. So at the beginning, you have to ask yourself, how much of a hobby is this going to be? Is it something that I'm putting, 20, 30 hours a month into? Something that I'm putting 5 hours a day into? Is it something that I plan to spend my entire paycheck on? These are all relevant questions to how you want to play the game. And it will determine not only how much you get to participate, but in what type of avenue you get to participate. The game is pay to win. There's no argument about that. However, in my opinion, it's also one of the most balanced games that you can find to still play free and earn a lot of the same stuff and still earn the might to be able to fight and participate and play. It just takes more time. Now, why do I harp on that? Well, because like I said, this game is a hobby that's going to take time to develop and time to build. And they give you so many things to look at. You have what type of troops. You got a list of different heroes. And right now there's over 50 different heroes. There's 54, I think, right? 54 heroes to choose from. And they each have their own different skills and they each have their own different avenues and uses. So it becomes a lot to know, a lot to learn from. However, once you justify either how big of a hobby this will be or how much you're ending up spending, you can start to focus your game. And this is why it's important. I tell everybody that I talk to or play with, you want to pick a lane and stay in it. For example, in this account, I've built almost entirely as infantry as I can. If you look at your type of troops, you've got effectively 3 different types. You've got infantry, riders, ranged. And if you look at this diagram up here, this shows you how they all work out, just like rock, paper, scissors. Infantry does better against riders. Riders do better against ranged. Ranged does better against infantry. They all do better than trucks. Trucks are only good for farming. Okay, these engines only good for farming and raiding. Right? That's how you collect resources from enemy territory. Raiding. But the truth is, you're not going to use them in a rally or a siege on someone because they're weak to everybody. The only time you'll ever use them to raid is when you do what I like to call random raiding, which is where you'll use a random relocator and then raid all the nobody accounts that are around you for resources and such like that. But that's another topic for a different time. The point is, the engines are only used for farming. So again, if we look at that thing, each one has their own benefit. So when I say pick a lane and stay in it, I mean, if you want to go infantry, be infantry. If you want to go rider, be rider. Do everything that you can to make your riders the best, to make your infantry the best. to make your range the best. But don't try to make all three good at the same time. Unless you're going to spend a ton of money, it's not going to work. And you'll lose interest because you won't be near as impactful with your three weaker lines. It's better to hyper focus your troops and your research individually than it is to try to do it over all of them. And it's the same with heroes. When you're looking at what heroes do I upgrade, when you pick a hero to upgrade that hero fully. Don't just upgrade them to 40 or upgrade them to 50 or upgrade them fully. Don't stop until they're level 60. When you choose which heroes to awaken, don't try to awaken 3 at the same time. Awaken 1 at a time. Pick a lane and stay in it. Okay? Trust me, you will have a much better time in the long run once you decide what your lane is. This will allow you to choose what type of heroes you want, which you upgrade again 1 at a time. This will allow you to choose what kind of research to do, which again you upgrade for 1 troop type at a time. Like, for example, if I look at my infantry, right? Like I mentioned, my infantry is the top one that I've done. I'm currently working on level 15 in my riot shield. All the other ones are at the base limit that they can be for me to unlock tier 5. I haven't done any of the additional ones. They're weak in comparison. My infantry has all of the extra bonuses, so they're much stronger. They'll be the first tier 6 that I'll unlock. They'll be the ones that I put all of my hero frags into. I have an Awakened Thunder. I have an Awakened Dut. I've put all of my resources into my infantry side of things. My other 2 have fallen to the wayside, but the truth is, once you finish the research, there's only one other avenue to go, which is picking another one. There gets to be a point where all of your buildings are upgraded and all of your research is done, and from there, you have more freedom. But it still becomes the same ideology. Pick a lane and stay in it, right? Hyper-focus your troops, hyper-focus your heroes, work 1 at a time, develop 1 crazy line that you can play with that people are scared of, even at your might, right? You want to create something that you can play with, but that only happens through one of 2 ways: time or money. And if you don't want to put the money in and you're only putting the time in, do yourself a favor, pick a lane and stay in it. That being said, guys, that is the basis of the video today. We have covered a whole lot, and yet there is still so much to go over. We're going to touch base in the next video. I'm going to go through the events. We're going to talk about the Antipede. We're going to talk about the Pompeii, which we've already talked about Pompeii. We're going to talk about the Island Raid, Archipelago Raid. These are all events that are coming up. I want to talk about the campaign in the next video, where we go over Bounty Crown, Arena of Doom, Memory Trip, and Z-Virus Adventure. We'll give you some tips and tricks on all of those. And if there's something you want to see in specific, a topic you want to see me cover or go over, or something that you'd like to see me touch base into yourself, go ahead and hit the chat box or the comment section below. I like to read those comments. I like to respond to them. If there's something you like or you see that I do differently, I also like to take criticism, so let me know there as well. All up in the comments. If you like what you saw today, hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go ahead and make sure you hit the little bell button as well. Make sure you get all the notifications when I post my next ones. Most videos go up on Saturdays, so expect them then. And with that, I'd like to say from all of us here at the GROP, stay lifted, everybody.